Welcome back to a brand new video. Today we have a question, and this question comes from the New York Times in a reporting asking if Trump will pretty much listen to judges, aka Trump versus judges. Will he listen? Who knows? Let's find that out in today's video via this reporting from the New York Times. I'm gonna break that down and explore that with you guys today in today's video. This article was written by German Lopez. The article reads, "Good morning. We're covering how the judiciary is stopping parts of the Trump agenda, as well as government cuts, China, and the most divisive restaurant in London." Trump versus judges. The article reads, yesterday, the Supreme Court reminded President Trump that at least one branch of government would not bend the knee. The justices, in a 5-4 decision, voted my editorial edition, in a 5-4 vote, rejected President Trump's request to freeze $2 billion in foreign aid, a part of his effort to slash government spending and dismantle the, quote, deep state, quote. His, quote, a bare majority of the court ruled against Mr. Trump. No one of his signature projects, on one of his signature projects. Ladies and gentlemen, and here's why they denied his request. They denied his request because the funds were appropriated and approved by Congress for emergencies, such as when people pass away or need medical treatment. Yet, the dumbass narcissist was trying to illegally halt the funding with the help of Elon Musk, an unelected billionaire. Continuing with the article. German Lopez's colleague Adam Liptak wrote, quote, the president's many programs and plans the order suggested will face close scrutiny from a deeply divided court, end quote. That's the second time the Supreme Court has stopped Trump in his second term, although lower courts have blocked many more parts of his agenda, rightfully, legally, constitutionally, and lawfully, and legally, my editorial edition. With Republicans in control of Congress, the courts remain the only serious obstacle to the president. Today's newsletter looks at the tangle of cases and at what may happen if Trump ignores the rulings they produce. The court battles. The Time is tracking dozens of lawsuits against the Trump administration. The legal challenges in federal courts around the country fit into 4 categories. Government Overhaul, which is with the help of Elon Musk's Department of Government Efficiency. By the way, which is a made-up government efficiency, or Department of Government Efficiency, aka Doge, is a not realistic agency that was not created by Congress, nor was it approved by the Senate, nor was Elon Musk approved by the Senate, which violates the Administrative Procedures Act. Continuing with the article. Trump is trying to downsize the federal government. His administration has tried to fire tens of thousands of civilian employees and dismantle entire agencies. The legal challenges contend that Trump didn't follow rules for firing certain employees. Donald Trump is a piece of shit. That is the known fact. That's why he thinks he does not need to follow the rules. Especially because he is a corrupt billionaire, failed businessman who has been bankrupt multiple times. Continuing with the article. That he can't shut down agencies established by law without congressional approval, and that Doge has gone beyond what laws allow it to do. Immigration. It says Trump has pushed his administration to end birthright citizenship. Which, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, is illegal to do because it is guaranteed in the 14th Amendment of the Constitution. But we all know that Donald Trump lied in his swearing-in ceremony and said that he supports the Constitution. A bunch of BS. Deport many more migrants, restrict asylum, and withhold funds from cities that resist his policies. His critics say many of these moves violate laws or constitutional standards that protect immigrants' rights. Reversing liberal policies. Trump has tried to curtail a host of liberal policies, including environmental rules, legal protections for transgender people, congestion pricing in New York, and DEI initiatives. Some of the lawsuits seek to overturn Trump's orders and resurrect these policies. Others focus on more narrowly restoring my editorial edition access to government data, such as information about climate change and HIV treatments that officially have officially been taken offline. Which, ladies and gentlemen, he was ordered to restore majority of the HIV treatments and health websites pursuant to constitutional orders and doctors suing to make that happen. Press freedom. Trump has blocked Associated Press reporters from official events because the AP-style guide uses Gulf of Mexico instead of Gulf of America. The news service says this violates the First Amendment First Amendment and the right to due process. I can vouch for that and say that it does, in fact, violate the First Amendment and due process. But unfortunately, a rogue, illegal judge decided to not rule in favor of the Associated Press in the lawsuit to attempt to unblock them from the White House because of the corrupt fascist and rapist and criminal and felon Donald Trump. These cases start in district courts, which can pause a policy. Then both sides argue their position in court, and the losing side can appeal the ruling to appeals court and eventually the Supreme Court. So far, 41 rulings have paused Trump's initiatives, at least temporarily. we're looking at the full list. Unfortunately, that unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, that the list did not work. I will have a link down below in the video description regarding the list. I'll just have to do some digging to find a list that's proper of the list of orders that are currently blocked. Continuing with the article. Eventually, the Supreme Court could uphold or reverse Trump's actions permanently, but that process often takes years. The Trump administration could take advantage of that slowness to fire workers and reshape the government before the courts could react. Will Trump listen? I cannot believe that this Supreme Court justice in the lower right-hand corner of the screen is siding with the evil fascist, rapist, criminal, felon right here. I wouldn't want Donald Trump to touch me. I'd tell him straight up, get your hands off me. Scholars argue about whether the country is in the midst of a constitutional crisis, because most experts, both liberal and conservative, argue that one thing will cross a line if Trump ignores a Supreme Court ruling. At that point, the checks and balances that the constitutional system relies on could collapse. The administration has already failed to comply with some lower court orders, such as one revoking a broad federal funding freeze. And some of Trump's supporters, including Vice President J.D. Vance, argue that the president should not listen to orders that constrain him. Quote, judges aren't allowed to control the executive's legitimate power, end quote, Vance posted on social media. Vance has also adopted an apocryphal Andrew Jackson line, quote, the Chief Justice has made his ruling. Now let him enforce it. Which, ladies and gentlemen, again, I have to immediately fact check J.D. Vance, because he is completely wrong. He does not know the Constitution, nor how the Constitution works. Even though some people say he does. He does not. He is forgetting if he in fact knows about the Constitution. Supposedly knows about the Constitution that the judicial system or the judiciary system can only step in and block the executive order or orders from the executive branch if they are unconstitutional or illegal, pursuant to Section 2 of the Constitution. Continuing with the article. Trump so far has not written off judiciary authority. In the instances when the administration hasn't followed followed court orders, it has pointed to alternate legal justification for its actions. Previous presidents did similar things, such as when Joe Biden cited other legal avenues for student loan forgiveness after the Supreme Court ruled against his initial attempt. Still, Trump doesn't like being told no. Ain't that the sad fact? You fucking racist POS. He has already stretched the powers of the presidency. He might believe that in defying the courts, he can do it again. Well, everybody, that is going to do it for today's video. If you did enjoy today's video, please make sure that you like, comment, share, and subscribe. A couple things before I do in today's video is, if you guys did enjoy this video and want to stay up to date on all legal breaking analysis reportings, such as this one from the New York Times, that you follow me down on my social media platforms that I am on currently. I'm on Instagram, Snapchat, and Threads. They will be linked down below, along with the very important vital news article link to this reporting. Another way you guys can stay up to date is if you hit the bell icon that is right next to the subscribe button down below on the right hand side. Lastly, ladies and gentlemen, please help me reach the overall channel goal of 110 plus subscribers. The reason why I'm saying 110 plus subscribers is because after we hit the goal of 110 subscribers, we have the we have more goals to reach after we hit 110 subscribers. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for tuning into today's video and legal breaking reporting. And I will talk to you guys in the next video.